What a masterpiece. And today I am finally back at work after 3 months. So this passenger walks up to me and she goes, "It excuses me from everything, so I cannot be held accountable for my actions." I'm definitely a little bit worried we might get put into another lockdown. Look at that, the uniform, she still fits. Hi guys, it's Sunday, it is 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and guess where I'm headed? I wanna be a billionaire. I'm at the airport because I'm signing on, because I'm flying today. What? If you're new here, hi, hello, my name is Andy. I'm a South African flight attendant based in Johannesburg, and today I am finally back at work after 3 months of not flying. I actually didn't have this flight on my roster. They gave me open days for the rest of the month, and actually one of my friends gave me this flight because she didn't feel like flying today, so she just gave me this flight, and it should be a super easy and quick flight. But I'm so excited to finally be putting my wing on. Oh my gosh, this is what is this feeling of joy? I'm so excited to be here. Oh my goodness, like I can't even stand it right now. I'm flying to Durban today. I haven't even checked to see who my crew are or anything like that. So yeah, let's head on inside the airport and fly to Durban. Look at that cute milkshake.
No, this is ugly.
Hello. How are you? I'm good, thank you. Oh, let me just put my suitcase up. Captain? Are you guys not? We're done. All the passengers are off. I'm like, are you guys sleeping here or? So it's almost 11 p.m. Got home a little while ago and just had a shower just to make me feel better, but I am really tired. I know it's just because I haven't been on a plane in a really long time. I want nothing more than to just go to sleep. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'll fill you guys in tomorrow on how my day was today. I know I didn't really vlog a lot of it. It was just chaos, pretty much. Our flights were full, but overall it was a good day. I give the day like a solid 7 out of 10. But I'll see you guys in the morning when I have more energy and when I make more sense.
There is a life I lead in this city, hurrying to cut my teeth. I can take what I need to get by, but doesn't make it easy. The other piece of my heart moves slow, somewhere in the
Good morning, guys. It's actually definitely not morning anymore. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Yes, it's 2:20 in the afternoon. I'm having a smoothie quickly. I made a peanut butter and banana smoothie, but I chucked in some blueberries because I had like a handful of blueberries left, and then I also threw in a date, milk and water and a few chia seeds right at the end because they're so full of nutrients and they're just so fun to eat. Yesterday was so much fun, but it was also a super hectic day just because I was still trying to get back into the swing of things, but at the same time, like, our flights were full. They were like short and quick flights. Boarding was hectic and it was just a whole hot mess. So I'm sorry for the lack of footage that I got yesterday. We were actually originally supposed to pax down, like fly down to Durban as passengers, but then we ended up just operating as normal crew, which is actually better because I hate flying as a passenger. The weather was okay. yesterday. It was raining when we were leaving Joburg, so it was a bit bumpy when we were leaving, but it was smooth sailing coming back. Our captain, yesterday was her last flight. She's on leave now because she's getting married this weekend. On our first flight yesterday, I had an interesting passenger. She walked up to me while I was boarding because my senior was on the phone talking to the crew in the back. So this passenger walks up to me and she goes, "Excuse me, I am highly claustrophobic. So I have a doctor's note. It excuses me from everything, so I cannot be held accountable for my actions." And I did check up on her multiple times during the flight and she was okay. She couldn't sit with her bags because she was sitting at row 3 and she was one of the last passengers to get on. So usually if you're sitting in the front of the plane or in the back of the plane and you're not one of the first people to get on, chances are you will not find overhead stowage for your bags when you get on board. Chances are your bags are going to have to sit just a couple of rows behind you or a couple of rows further forward ahead of you from where you're sitting. And I know a lot of people get really worried about that kind of stuff, but this lady was extra worried. I actually offered to bounce her bag for her yesterday, to just put it in the cargo hold instead of putting it further down the cabin, in case that was stressing her out. But she said she had some valuables that she didn't want to like part with or anything. So I was like, okay, cool, but your bag is gonna have to sit above row 8, but it's okay because when we disembark, when we land, we disembark row by row. So row 1 will be able to get up and leave first, row 2 after them, and then you're at row 3. Even though your bag is at row 8, you'll be able to get up and go get your bag when it's your row's turn, and then you'll be able to disembark. And she was like, okay, cool. And I explained that to her when I was putting her bag up during boarding and when we were descending. So I explained it to her twice, and then as soon as we landed, she was the first person to get up and try to go get her bag. And my senior made the announcement like 3 times, and this lady was just ignoring her, and all the other passengers were like staring at her, and like a couple of them were like nudging her like, "Are you not listening?" or something. And I was just like, wow, this is awkward. Then on the second flight, I had a special attention passenger. She couldn't hear and she couldn't speak, but she could lip read. So that was something that I was like, oh wow, I haven't actually thought of having to help somebody like that during a pandemic when masks are like the top priority. I helped her out, I took her to her seat, and then I had to brief her, but I had to remove my mask so she could lip read my instructions and everything I was saying. And she would actually respond to me. She just doesn't speak clearly, you know, like how somebody who's hearing impaired speaks. That's pretty much how she spoke, but she understood me, she responded to me, everything was fine. So that made me feel much better, because when I thought about it, I was like, oh my word, what am I going to do if she doesn't understand me at all? Like, what if she doesn't speak English or anything like that? But luckily she did understand and speak English, everything was fine. And then by the time that her seatmates came and sat next to her, it was these 2 big guys. When they sat down, I actually went and I also briefed them just in case, just as an extra precaution. And it's just, it's so crazy that these are the things that we have to think of as flight attendants, but at the same time it's something I'm really privileged that I get to do. And this lady was just the sweetest thing. She was the sweetest person, and I'm also really happy that the guys that were sitting next to her were as nice and sweet and accommodating as they were, because they were more than willing to assist her. So that was really awesome. And I did check up on her as well throughout the flight, and she was great. She was just the sweetest thing. She's the passenger of the day for me. I am gonna try to make sure that I get more footage and stuff over my next few trips. Today is an open day for me. It's technically a duty day, but I know I'm not gonna get used, because if I were to be used, they would have had to let me know before 5 p.m. yesterday. I have an actual roster, you guys. Tomorrow I'm off, and then I'm on standby for a couple of days, and on the 3rd of April I think I'm flying. Let me check my roster. Yeah, on the 3rd of April I'm flying. I'm doing a flight to PE. A couple days later I'm doing a flight to Cape Town and back. The day after that I'm doing another flight to Cape Town and back. Oh, in a couple weeks I'll be flying a regional flight, which will be fun. Our domestic flights, we are not offering service at all, but on this regional flight, because it's like 3.5 hours long, we are offering like snacks and drinks and stuff. So I'm actually keen to see how that goes. My roster is actually a decent roster. It's not like hectic, and it's not like super boring. A lot of my flights are just like a there and back, just 2 legs in one day, so they should be fairly quick days. Yeah, around the end of the month, like on the 24th of April I have a 4 leg, I'm gonna fly to George and back and Durban and back, and on the 25th I'm doing a Durban and it's a double Durban, so it's just Joburg to Durban, back to Joburg, back to Durban, back to Joburg. It's just a 4-leg, but it's still not the longest day because a Durban flight is like 45 minutes long. That day I think I start at like 8:30 in the morning and I'm done by 3, so it's still not the worst actually. It's just like a normal full day of work. And then on the last day of the month I'm doing another 4-leg. That should be fun. What else can I tell you guys about? I don't think there's anything else. Okay, I can't think of anything else I wanted to tell you guys about. I think that's it.
Feeling is all gone.
We've changed into a hoodie because it's getting cold. I wanted to quickly make a snack. I'm like a huge snack person. I don't know if you guys know. I haven't had a rocky road in the longest time, and I wanted to see how easy it would be to make my own because I've got like these leftover snacks lying around. So I was like, why not throw them all into a rocky road? It should work out, right? Like it should turn out pretty good. So let's hope I don't completely waste a slab of chocolate. I'm just breaking up pieces of chocolate so that I can stick them in the microwave. Oh, okay, it's starting to melt. Let's just do another 20. Okay, this looks melted enough. This does not seem to be going very well. I feel like I should have gotten more chocolate, no? Maybe. I guess we're just adding. I don't have mini marshmallows. I've got these big ones, but I cut them up. So I'm just gonna stick that on. Ooh, what a masterpiece. Now I'm just gonna put it in the fridge, wait for it to cool, and then I'm of course going to indulge. Clearly, this is my PMS that is eating for me today, but I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. By the way, I literally stood up to make dinner and I ended up making a rocky road. I have some leftover chicken chow mein from yesterday or the day before, I can't remember. And I have some cashews that I just chucked on it. So I'm gonna heat this up and have that for my dinner. And then obviously the rocky road will be dessert. Oh my gosh, you guys, when last did you see the movie Bubble Boy? What a classic! Oh, I love this movie and I haven't seen it in literal years. Good morning, you guys. It's the next day again. I know, I look a mess. I thought I would have already ended my vlog yesterday, but I don't know why. I just got like demotivated to vlog yesterday evening, but that's okay. I spent the evening watching Bubble Boy and just taking it easy. I realized, was it last night, that we've had our lockdown for over a year, and we went into lockdown last year, I think on the 26th or 27th of March. So that's crazy. So I actually missed it. I completely forgot about it. That was about 3 days ago. That it's been a year since we went into our strict lockdown because of COVID and everything like that, and I find that so insane. My crew and I the other day were talking about it, and we were talking about the vaccinations and everything like that, and some of them aren't really into the idea. Others are like, you know, kind of like lukewarm about it, and I'm obviously pro-vaccination. And it was a very interesting conversation to have. I was saying I'm frustrated that it's taking so long for South Africa to vaccinate everyone. Like, they're still vaccinating healthcare workers and they're getting the vaccine in increments of like 20,000, 40,000, and there's like 60 million people in South Africa. So I don't understand. Like, it seems like it's going to take like 50 years for us to honestly get everybody vaccinated, unless obviously the government gets more shipments of the vaccines quicker. At the end of the day, for me specifically, you guys know where I stand. I want the vaccine, but I also really want it for the economy as well, because I'm scared that if we don't get the vaccine then we're gonna go into more lockdown. I don't know, that's my thought, and I just think we're gonna suffer, and especially in terms of the tourism sector, we are really gonna suffer because no one's gonna feel comfortable traveling to South Africa because South Africa doesn't have a good vaccination rollout, and that just freaks me out and it worries me because tourism is literally my livelihood. It's like, you know, I'm a flight attendant. I depend on people wanting to travel and people having to travel to certain places in order for me to make a living and get an income. I'm definitely a little bit worried. Easter is coming up soon, and in South Africa a lot of people really hectically celebrate Easter, but they gather and there's church gatherings and all that stuff, so we might get put into another lockdown. I just wish that we had already been vaccinated by now so that we wouldn't have to stress about that kind of stuff. Genuinely wish that they were moving a little bit faster with getting us vaccinated, because at this point it seems like we're at a standstill, and that's literally what we're holding our breath for. That's it for my TED talk for this vlog. Thank you guys so much for coming along for that. Speak of the devil, the president is going to be addressing us tonight at 7 p.m. So let's see what he has to say.
For a year since we declared a national state of disaster, what has perhaps been most difficult of all is how the pandemic has affected the social interactions that make us feel as a people to be part of a community. We miss the many things we once took for granted, like being able to visit our loved ones, go to a party, or to attend religious services. In the middle of February, we began phase 1 of our vaccination program, which involves the vaccination of health workers. This phase is on track to be completed within 3 months. While the rate of transmission remains stable, we cannot let our guard down.
I don't even know what to say. I'm glad that the president isn't banning interprovincial travel, because that would definitely affect the tourism industry, but he is banning alcohol sales just for Easter weekend, just the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday of the Easter weekend. But like, weirdly enough, he's banning the sale of alcohol from like bottle stores, so you can't go into a bottle store and buy yourself a bottle of wine during that weekend, but you are allowed to go into a restaurant and order an alcoholic drink, or go to a bar and order a couple of drinks and drink as much as you want, basically. So it's a bit confusing. I don't really see why one is better than the other. My biggest question mark was the vaccines. So by today we were meant to have 1 million healthcare workers vaccinated, and we only have about 200,000 vaccinated, so definitely not hitting the target there. But apparently we've secured 31 million more doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. He did say that phase 2 will start in April, and that will take 6 months apparently to completely roll out. And I think phase 2 is other frontline workers, like people like teachers and people who work at grocery stores and stuff like that. I still don't know where us as flight crew fall into that category. I don't know if we'll be part of phase 2 or phase 3, because phase 3 is where they'll just be trying to vaccinate the rest of the adults in South Africa who are eligible to be vaccinated. And phase 2 I know includes, like I said, like people that work in grocery stores and stuff, but also like elderly people and people with underlying conditions. So I have no idea where like I fall into that, if I'm phase 2 or if I have to wait until November to be part of phase 3. And I just think it's taking so long. I honestly feel like it's gonna be another year before we've reached herd immunity, which is where over 67% of the population is vaccinated or something like that. So I can only keep my fingers crossed, and I can only trust that this whole rollout thing is gonna catch some sort of momentum, because we really need it to. This vlog has run long enough, much longer than necessary, to be honest. So I'm gonna go ahead and say goodnight to you guys. I am off tomorrow, and then I'm on standby on Thursday and Friday, so we'll see if I get called out, but I want to end this vlog and start a new one on Friday. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you very much for watching. Have an amazing weekend, and don't forget to spread good vibes and be kind. Good night. Bye.